Hello, this is the Bad Mini Painter, and today we're doing a short video on how to paint the Horus Heresy Mechanicum. I'm not even going to try that. Tech-Thralls. So it's a part of the Mechanicum battle group. There are 20 of them in it, and that means there's 20 tiny models to paint. So it's batch painting time, I guess. I'm not really. I enjoy painting the big models more than painting a lot of small models, but still, you wanna do a decent job. But I'm going to try and cheat as much as possible, and one of the ways I can do that is contrast. So Gore Grunta fur, which I decided to spell foot, but fur for the boots, and Black Templar contrast for the pants. And then in this way I have the shading already done for me, which is the lovely thing about speed paints or contrast paints, or I can't remember what Mechanicum is calling it, but it's also something like that. For the silver metal parts I use Iron Hand Steel. I have done that throughout painting the entire battle group, so it's the same kind of silver metal, iron metal. And these guys have some mechanical extensions, replacements, so there will be metal legs and hands and other good stuff. And I also pick out the backpack and the decoration or the radio they have on their belt. And there's a lot of small fiddly parts. Next I use Corvus Black for the wires, because it has these this nice rubbery, latexy kind of finish to it. So if you imagine that you have these wires going, probably copper inside, but they're isolated with something, I think it gives a convincing look. Then it's on to Mephiston Red, which is going to be for the armor. So there's the knee pads, the crotch protector, and also the lock for the belt, and then of course the helmet and the chest plate. And I just give it a fairly thin layer because there's a lot of details that I don't want to clog up or obscure too much. So it's pretty thin down, my Mephiston Red. Next I use Bright Bronze from Vallejo, and I have already decided to pick out some parts on the gun, on the backpack, and then the trim for the chest plate and helmet. And trying to be pretty careful not to hit any of the red part, but if I do, that's kind of okay, because I'm going to shade this pretty heavily and it's going to obscure or hide any minor mistakes. And remember, when you're painting models like this, you're going to have a lot of them on the table, and you're going to be viewing them from afar. For the black part on the gun, I use Abaddon Black, and I put it on kind of too thick, and in a panic I start spreading it out. So the end result was decent. And with that being done, I use a black wash from the Army Painter, and I thin it a little, because I'm going to smear this all over the model, including the skin, to achieve the effect that I want. So what this wash is going to do is to run into all the recesses and emphasize all the details, and doing a lot of the job for you. So I'm generous with it. For the eye lenses, I decided to use Keldor Sky and just do a little tap on each lens, and that's pretty unnecessary, but I want to add some kind of little details. For the flesh, I use deep kin flesh, and I just touch everything that I feel the light would hit. So I leave the black wash in all the recesses, and that makes the arm look kind of sickly and Not like it's rotting or anything, but definitely like mechanical. It hasn't been in the sun recently, you can see that. Finally, as the last step, I decided to do some highlighting on the Abaddon Black, and I used Stormwoman fur for that. I figured out, mainly by accident, that it actually had a really nice contrast when it dried up, if you wanted to highlight Abaddon Black. So those two colors work well together. And then I decided I was done. So it's a quick video, it's a quick paint job, and they're fairly easy to get a decent result out of. Again, as with most of the stuff I do, there's a lot of details I've skipped and a lot of details you can decide to add. Some of the arms have little wires on them. I didn't do those because no one's going to see it. So if I did, it would only be for me. And it wouldn't be fast and it wouldn't be easy. So to stick on theme with what I actually do, I decided to skip stuff. Anywho, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do leave a like. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. I paint primarily Games Workshop models, but I'm trying to do Crisis Protocol and other stuff too. And each subscription makes me a little happier. Thank you so much for your time. I know it's valuable, and have an awesome day. Bye.